Hey there everyone, thank you for joining me as we take a look at Astroware Bridge Management's latest release, version 6.6. This release is full of new features and updates, far too many to cover in this video. We'll touch on some of the biggest changes here, and you can dig into the release notes to learn about the rest. This video will cover signs and ancillary assets, critical findings, and user certifications. New in BrM version 6.6 is support for signs and other ancillary assets with the new Ancillaries tab. New tasks in the tab include the Signs list, Sign Inventory, Sign Inspection, and Sign Work Candidates. You'll find your options for signs are very similar to how you can manage tunnels as BrM continues to expand its abilities as an asset management tool. In addition to the new tasks, existing tasks have been updated to support ancillary assets. The Admin Tunnels Asset Element Definitions and Asset Element Child Linking tasks were moved into a new Admin Ancillary Assets section to support signs and other ancillary assets in addition to tunnels. The Admin General Config Multimedia task and the Multimedia widget can now support ancillary assets. And updates were made to the Visual Form Editor to support sign and ancillary asset needs. Another new feature in this release of BrM is the Critical Findings module. In this module, you can create, review, report, and track critical findings for your bridges. You're able to set up an entire workflow for your critical findings to ensure they're properly monitored and processed. There are several new pages in BrM that help build out the Critical Findings module. The first page is the Admin General Config Critical Findings task. Here you can configure the settings for your critical findings, including which user groups will be reviewers of the critical findings, whether you'll have 1 or 2 levels of review, who will be your FHWA contacts for critical findings and when will they be contacted, additional email addresses that will receive all critical finding communications, when critical finding fields can be edited, and whether you'll display and use the committee review and intermediate action sections on the critical findings form. The next important page for critical findings is the Inspection Critical Findings task. This page is used to report and track the critical findings of a selected bridge. When reporting a new critical finding, you will include details such as the date found, time found, category, initial priority, initial action taken, the date and time the bridge owner was contacted, and a thorough description of the critical finding. After the initial save, you will see the status section at the top of the page, the critical finding data, the committee review and intermediate action sections if enabled, the log of all updates to the critical finding, any outstanding tasks, and any associated projects or work candidates. The page that brings all the critical finding information together in one place is the Inspection Management Critical Findings dashboard. This page provides a high-level list and graphical view of all the critical findings in your system so you can have a quick glance overview of the state of things and where you might need to turn your attention. The final new feature we'll discuss from BrM version 6.6 is the User Certifications module. This module is used to track the certifications and experience of your agency's inspectors so that you know who is qualified and eligible to perform various types of inspections. Like critical findings, there are several new pages in BrM that help build out the User Certifications module. The first page is the Admin General Config User Certifications task. Here you can configure the settings for your user certifications, including experience types, certification categories, certifications, qualifications, when emails related to user certifications are sent, and whether to display specific sections and information about certifications on the user profile page. The next important page for user certifications is the user profile. Each user can go to their profile and update their years of experience and certifications. They can also see the qualifications they have based on these entries. Qualifications are defined by SQL statements that determine the criteria necessary to earn the qualification. You can find technical details and example SQL statements in the BrM online help. The page that brings all the user certification and qualification information together in one place is the Inspection Management Manage Certifications task. This page provides a high-level look at all the users in your system and their certifications and qualifications. From here, you can approve or deny certifications, update the end date of an approved certification, and create and assign temporary qualifications. And that wraps up our quick overview of the major new features in BrM 6.6. That said, a few other notable updates include enhancements to program funding allocation, including adding the ability to toggle on or off the subdivision by project category, adding the option to define which project categories are included in a program and scenario funding combination, adding the ability to order project categories for optimization, and adding the option to set budgets per project category per year. Another great update included in this release is the addition of the Admin Modeling Config Pyramid task. This page is a visual representation of how to build out a program in BrM, including links to each page in the process. And finally, we added a mapping widget, like the multimedia widget, that can be added to any new or existing task from the visual form editor. This release is full of changes for you to discover and benefit from. I encourage you to read the release notes to learn about all the enhancements, updates, and bug fixes packed into BrM 6.6. As always, if you have any questions, please visit ashtawarebridge.com for up-to-date contact information or email brm@mayview.com. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more BrM release videos in the future.